Hey, what's up, guys? This is Elo Speaks back again with another video. And in this video topic, I'm going to be talking about Deion Sanders and Colorado State losing to the Oregon Ducks, the number 5 ranked team in the country. So we all saw this coming. Colorado State were going up against Oregon Ducks at their home Saturday, and they got destroyed. Completely dominated from start to finish. It was bad overall. Again, we expected it. I was hoping to be wrong, but it is what it is. It wasn't the best outing in terms of for Shadir Sanders. He had 159 yards. He only had 1 touchdown and 120 passer rating, but that passer rating is slightly misleading a little bit, and he got sacked a lot. I think he got sacked about, let's see here, 1, 2, 4. He got sacked like 5.5 times. So, not a good outing for him. Again, they did have the Heisman candidate, Bo Nix, on their team. He had a great game. He had 276 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, and a passer rating of 179, which was good. The balls moved around. Oregon Ducks are going to be a tough team this year. Good luck to them moving on to the season. And my mistake, they were not ranked number 5. They were ranked number 10 in the country. And, beating another top 25 team is going to help sustain their ranking, possibly move down, move up, depending on who lost, who won. So they're in good standings. They're 3-0, and they're going to move forward, especially in the Pac-12. So, but again, we're going to go into Deion Sanders and the Colorado University. So, again, Deion Sanders lose in devastating fashion to the Oregon Ducks from getting dominated from start to finish, as I said prior. And it was not a pretty sight to see, to be honest. So let's go over a few points that we've learned from the game of Colorado versus Oregon. So the offensive line that was protected, Shadir Sanders, was horrible. He had no time to throw the pass, and he was getting sacked completely. He didn't have no time to make any decisions, and he couldn't throw none over the top. He had to throw a lot of underneath, and they were just playing from behind. It was either he got sacked, a penalty, and it was either 20-18 or 30-20, and they were just playing from behind. They would never really got into a groove to really push the ball down the field. So they didn't really get down the field until about fourth quarter, and which is bad. Now my next point. This is college football. This ain't JSU. No shade to them, but this is real life football. Powerhouses in the top 25. This is what Deion Sanders and Colorado are going to be going up against for the foreseeable future, especially for the years to come. They're going to be going up against top ranked teams like this, and they're going to have to try to beat these teams if they're going to want to move forward and be a tough audience to play for a higher bowl. So again, they play USC next week, so that's going to be another tough outing. Chances are they're probably going to lose that game because they're ranked number 5 in the country. So, hey, it's going to be a rough 2 weeks for them moving forward. Hopefully they can bounce back playing Arizona State University, but again, you never know. So, that's that from there. My next point is the Deion Sanders media critics will be in full force and attack Deion Sanders for losing this game, even though most people already pinned him losing this game no matter what. So Sanders for the loss because they've been waiting to pounce on him for a while. They've been waiting for him to lose, so that way they could criticize him and attack him. Before, when he was winning on his 3-game win streak, it made it hard to criticize him, even though he was winning. But now that he's lost, now that the fans are going to come out, now they're going to attack him with full force, no bearing, even though there was a no-win situation where they just completely was dominated from that team from start to finish. So it is what it is. It comes with the job. Deion Sanders understands that, and he's going to move forward with it because he understands what came with that job when he took that position. My next point, Deion Sanders moving forward with the next game and the rest of the season to put themselves in a position to play for a bowl. Now, get that out of your head. I've seen that the Vegas had the odds of Shadir winning Heisman and playing for the playoff championship game. That's not happening, especially in year one. Come on, guys. Let's be realistic here. Come on. Like they're saying that they had like good odds, but now the odds are just like plummeted after this loss, which we kind of knew anyway. Is year one. It's gonna take some time, take some development, and Deion Sanders over the years is gonna get better talent moving forward, and he's gonna be more competitive and compete. But again, come on, let's be realistic here. At this point, you need at least 6 wins to contend for a bowl. I feel like that should be the goal. Now, granted, you want to win more than 6 games in college football, but 6 games is the limit to where you're eligible to play for a bowl. Now, when you do that, then you could win for that bowl and then move on from there. But the college playoff championship, etc., and all that, let's pump the brakes on that because that's way too soon, way too early, especially in year one for Deion Sanders with Shadir Sanders playing at QB. So my overall take on it, the situation was most people expected this that Colorado was going to lose to Oregon. Oregon's a tough team. They're going to be competitive with them. I've seen the halftime talk with the Oregon head coach and how he was revving up his team, letting them know like, yo, this team is playing for clicks, we're playing for wins, etc. And that's the type of mindset that these head coaches all over college football are going to be having when they're going up against Colorado and Deion Sanders, because I've recently seen some clips of Deion Sanders' interview post-game after the loss to Oregon, and he said that, these teams they're not playing to beat Colorado, they're playing to beat Prime. And he's absolutely correct in that. They are trying to beat Prime. They're trying to send a message. They're trying to say, you're just not going to come in here and take over college football because you're prime time, you're a Hall of Famer, you're a legend, arguably the greatest position at your sport, which is cornerback, a Super Bowl champion, etc. You're not just going to come here and take over. You got to show us that you're great. And, to some degree, he is going to show them that they're great. And in doing so, it's going to cause a lot of backlash because, how flamboyant, how the personality that primetime is. And he's going to get a lot of hate for that from coaches, the media, and haters alike. So that's just part of the game. I hope that Deion Sanders and Colorado could move past this and continue to have a fruitful season. But again, their schedule is looking pretty tough moving forward. This is a humbling loss for them because and to be honest, people say losses are bad. Losses are good if you learn from them. This is a humbling loss for Colorado. You can't get too full of yourself. Yeah, you were 3-0, but now you're 3-1. That nothing comes easy. You gotta go out and work for it, and you have to put in the effort and just come back strong the next time. So again, next week they go up against number 5 USC Trojans, so most likely they're going to lose that game. Let's be honest. And then after that, they're going up against Arizona State, possible win, and then they go up against Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and then they end the season off with Utah. So I think they could squeeze out 3 more wins and contend for a bowl and possibly win that bowl depending on who they go up against and matchup wise and be competitive. And then after that season, Deion Sanders could, work his magic, try to get more talent, try to get more 4-star, 5-star recruits to come to his team, play for his organization, and be a competitive top 25 team for the years to come. Because I feel like there's a great opportunity for him as a head coach, and it's a great opportunity for Colorado too. Because, all the viewership, everything, the money went up in Colorado just from having Deion at the school. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do all that they can to try to help Deion Sanders make this as a fruitful partnership as they can while his tenure is here at the school. So those are my thoughts and opinions on the matter. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. This is Elo Speaks. Peace. Hey, what's up? So on the next topic, I wanted to talk about Rich Paul and how he was recently on a podcast. I think it was which is Gilbert Arenas' podcast. And the title was going to be Rich Paul glazed LeBron James by throwing Miami Heat teammates under the bus and also disrespecting Steph Curry as well. So as we know, Rich Paul, who's agent of LeBron James for Clutch Sports and good friends with LeBron James, he recently went on Gilbert Arena podcast, which is called Gil's Arena, and they talked about different red topics. And of course, he brings up LeBron James. Shocker, right? So we already know that was going to come. He was rambling on spewing a bunch of nonsense as regards to LeBron James and how great of a person he is, and how much, the straight talking spiel that a clutch agent is supposed to do, because that's just mandatory. When it comes to people like him, Shannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright, they're clutch sports agents, so they're heavy and tied with LeBron James, so they have to big him up to no end and talk up LeBron James to ad nauseum, to the point where it just gets tiresome and sick. But in this particular video, I wanted to make, because as we know, when it came to LeBron James, Rich Paul is an employee of LeBron James, so he has to spread the media agenda for LeBron James was to glaze and to promote the agenda, as we know. Now, Rich Paul talked about a different stuff regarding LeBron James. I want to get into a few points that he talked about and just debunk that overall. Now, the first part I wanted to get into as regards to what he said on the podcast was the first one, is that he took shots at the '07 Cavs, the Miami Heat organization, and Steph Curry overall. Now, the first one is the '07 Cavs. He basically said how LeBron James basically dragged that '07 Cavaliers team to the finals to compete against the San Antonio Spurs in the finals. And Gilbert Arenas and a couple of other players, it was like, oh, those teammates are trash. Those teammates are trash. And then Rich Paul, in essence, he said, I didn't say all that. I'm not saying all that, but that is what you're saying. You're basically saying his teammates are trash. Whenever you're saying that a person dragged his teammates to the finals, you're basically saying that they're trash and that they're garbage and they shouldn't be there, which is a complete lie, because I hate this narrative that LeBron James fanboys like to make, that he dragged that '07 Cavs team to the finals. He didn't drag that team to the finals. The Eastern Conference was weak as hell, and there was nobody standing in their way of going over. Now, granted, was that Cavs team the best team? No, they weren't the best team, but still, in order for you to make the finals overall, whether the East was weak or not, you have to have some modicum of talent to make it there. And he has some decent players on his team to help him at least make the finals. Now, granted, that San Antonio Spurs team was a decent team, but they weren't no juggernaut team at the time. Granted, they still had Tim Duncan at the peak of his powers, but he didn't have a particularly good finals. Out of all the finals that Tim Duncan's played, he would argue statistically wise that was one of his worst finals that he did, and LeBron James still couldn't get the job done. So I don't want to hear nothing as regards that he dragged that team to the finals. That's an absolute lie and a agenda narrative that they like to spin to prop up LeBron James and excuse that '07 loss. LeBron James made it to the finals. He got swept and lost point blank period. Because I guarantee you, if LeBron James had won against that '07 San Antonio Spurs team, nobody would be talking about how great they are. They'd be talking about what LeBron James did and how he won against that team. And now the next point, which kind of ticked me off and made me want to make this video. Now, as you know, I'm a Miami Heat fan, so he talked about the Miami Heat organization and saying how the Miami Heat team were basically, a great run organization, but they weren't doing nothing until LeBron James got there. They didn't do not. They weren't basically he was saying they were garbage before LeBron James got there, which is totally not true and false. We already know 2003 they drafted Dwayne Wade. It took a couple of years. They made a trade for Shaquille O'Neal, and then about 2005 they were competing with the Detroit Pistons to possibly go to the NBA Finals. Next year, they end up going to the NBA Finals and beating the Dallas Mavericks to win their first championship. Dwayne Wade wins Finals MVP. Shaquille O'Neal gets a ring, his fourth championship. Moving forward, the team digressed a little bit in terms of talent because a lot of the guys that were on that 06 team were pretty much older in longitude, and they were trying to get younger. And then over time, they were trying to rebuild and build up talent. And then after that, Miami Heat were competitive enough to make the playoffs and get 8th or 7th seed. By that time, they were facing the super team, Boston Celtics with Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. So that's who the Miami Heat were facing at the time. The way that Rich Paul said, Miami Heat were a destitute 15 seed team with a draft lottery pick. And it was only that a couple of years that they were in the lottery to get a top draft pick, and that was 2008 when they got a top pick. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. After that, Miami Heat is a great run organization. The Heat culture is good, and they've been thriving since. We helped LeBron James win his first title. We showed him how to win. We showed him what a good organization takes to win a championship. We helped them play in a system. We, did a lot for LeBron James in terms of helping him become better as a player. And then he left and went to Cleveland, which was fine. It took a couple of years for Miami Heat to rebound after he left, but look what Miami Heat has done so far. So far, they've been in the playoffs plenty of times, and they've been highly competitive, and they've been to 2 finals since then. Granted, they lost those finals, but again, for an organization that was destitute before LeBron James and after he left, got there, they did a lot since then, and you have to give credit to Pat Riley and the organization for that. Now, the next point, Steph Curry. They took shots at Steph Curry because they wanted to talk about the 2020 bubble, which was an asterisk title. I've said it multiple times. The 2020 title is an asterisk title, and he wanted to dispel all narratives as regards to that being an asterisk title because you already know the talks about that. It was a Mickey Mouse championship. They had 4 months off, COVID. They were playing on Orlando, etc. So he wanted to go into the talk how because LeBron James is the one who won the title, people are saying it's an asterisk and it doesn't count. Now, granted, there's some truth to that. There are people that are saying because he's the one who won the title, people are saying it's illegitimate. Now, granted, I was then saying that whoever wins this title before the championship even got given to the Lakers, whoever won the championship, whether it had been Miami, I'm a Miami Heat fan, so if Miami would have won that championship, it would have been an asterisk championship. It could have been Miami, Milwaukee, LA Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers. It could have been whoever won that 2020 championship. It was going to be an asterisk. It does not matter who won it. It's the fact that LeBron James fans were so desperate for him to win another title so that way they can make their pathetic case for him being the GOAT. So they were desperate. They wanted him to win the title so bad. The NBA wanted him to win the title so desperately. And the fact that he was on the Lakers and Kobe, God rest his soul, passed away at the time. So the NBA wanted to give that title to him. They wanted him to win that title. The league wanted him to win that title. So that's what you're saying. But to add in Steph Curry, he brought up that because LeBron won it, it's an asterisk title, but if someone like Steph Curry would have won that title, then people would not have said it's not a legitimate title, it's not an asterisk title, which is a complete lie. A complete lie. Stephen Curry's been getting scrutinized for his titles since 2015. because all we people, and I'm not even a Warriors fan. I am a Steph Curry fan, but I'm not even a Warriors fan. Since 2015, people have been scrutinizing his championships. 2015, when he beat the Cavaliers with when LeBron James didn't have Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, they bring that up all the time. They bring it up. The next fact is that he didn't win Finals MVP and they gave it to Iguodala, which was a controversy in itself. No shade to Iguodala, but that Finals MVP should have went to Steph Curry. Then we go into the next championship, 2017. They get Kevin Durant for 2017 and 2018. Kevin Durant wins both Finals MVPs back to back, and at that point, Steph Curry has 3 championships. They're still saying those rings are cheap because he had to get Steph Curry to help him beat the Cavaliers, and he has no Finals MVPs on top of that. Now, granted, he went to 4 finals, won 3 of them, no Finals MVPs, but people are still scrutinizing his championships. Now we move forward to 2022. They play the Boston Celtics, and they win the game. They win in 6 games. Steph Curry gets his first Finals MVP, and people are finally giving him the respect and honor that he deserves by, giving him his due credit. It took him 4 championships and getting his first Finals MVP to actually get some credit. And you're telling me if you'd have won that Finals MVP and championship in 2020, that he was not going to get scrutinized? Come on, man. That's disingenuous. That's a flat out lie. That's BS. And we know that for a fact. So I don't want to hear that. Steph Curry been getting scrutinized ever since he became a threat to LeBron James, and because the media and fanboys been in full force. They took a little minute by not scrutinizing so much because they thought there was a slight chance of him playing with LeBron James, but once they realized that that's not happening, they went back to criticizing him once again. Now, my next point I wanted to get into was Rich Paul, and talks about how LeBron James' legacy as a basketball player is impacted by a 24-hour sports news media cycle, which is false. I've never seen a player that's benefited from social media so much such as LeBron James. And granted, just as an athlete, a celebrity, an entertainer, that comes with the game. Criticism, people watching you all the time, want to get at you all the time, haters, critics, all the like, that comes with the game. Now, granted, has LeBron James had a lot of scrutiny over the years? Yes, but there's plenty of players that have as much or have more scrutiny than LeBron James. You could have Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, when his father passed away, Kobe when he had that case in Denver, all that was going on. LeBron James was dealing with social media, yes, but, again, you could argue that he has as much followers on all social media platforms, and I'm talking about millions of followers that watch his every move and support him, buy his products, buy his shoes, his jerseys, etc., as well because of social media. So the fact that he's had to deal with that comes with his positives and it comes with his negatives, and you could argue that he's benefited greatly from the positives than he had to deal with the negatives. The only negatives he's come with is when he loses, because his fans hype him up to such a degree. When he comes up short, we don't want to hear none of the excuses why he lost. If he was this great of a player, he should have got it done. So that's why we don't care to hear it when his fanboys start making excuses for him, such as Shannon Sharp. Now, my next talking point. Of course, we already know he talked about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James and the GOAT debate, and how he sees LeBron James as a GOAT and give his asinine reasons. I'm not going to get too much into that because we already know that he's a clutch agent, so he has to ride for LeBron James. Whether you agree or disagree with his take is just a waste of time to even go about it. He was saying stupid nonsense such as LeBron James has platinum horns and Michael Jordan has gold horns, and a bunch of stupid reasons. He was trying to compliment them, but he was also trying to big up LeBron James and put him on a higher plateau than Jordan, but it just falls on deaf ears because you're too close to LeBron James to even give an unbiased take to where people could actually take you serious and like see your point. Because again, most people have their own opinions about who they think is the greatest of all time. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I'm not particularly a Michael Jordan fan. I'm just from the eye test. I see that Michael Jordan is better, has more more accolades, just more successful. I've watched LeBron James since I've been watching basketball my whole life, and I've seen him fail numerous times in playoffs, finals, etc. And it's just, you just can't compare this guy to Michael Jordan. There's no way. And I've talked about it a lot, and I don't want to get into it because that's be a whole nother video for a whole nother topic. But again, he just doesn't compare up to Michael Jordan, and that's that. There's nothing that LeBron James could do to change my mind as regards to that. But again, he's entitled to his opinion, even though we already know it's biased and false. But again, I digress. Now, my overall thoughts on LeBron, with Rich Paul and LeBron James, against a mutual benefit relationship. LeBron James is quote unquote signed to Clutch Sports, but we already know that he's, he's running it behind the scenes allegedly. And I never understood how an NBA player that's tied to an agency like Clutch Sports and have that in the league while he's still playing, because we already know LeBron James is a solid, loud speaker for the organization of Clutch Sports because he funds it behind the scenes while Rich Paul is looked at as the face and moving the parts around. But again, that's just how it is. This is a failed attempt on Rich Paul to push LeBron James as a GOAT and push his message. As LeBron James and his media goonies, we are not here for it. I think because of the advent of social media, there's more people like me and others like, Ticket TV, Premier Pro, and Two Raw for Sports TV, those type of guys. They have their own media platform, so that way they can give their own opinions on the matter and not be paid or bought off and give a general biased take. Whether they do think LeBron James is the GOAT or whether they don't think LeBron James is the GOAT, they have the free reins to give that take instead of having a person that we know that's bought and paid for by LeBron James allegedly to spew the media nonsense at us and tell us this is fact and we should believe it. And we're not here for that, and we're going to give our takes on it. So that's just my opinion on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. Peace. Alright, so I wanted to talk about this real quick. So about almost a week ago, a story came out, an article from dailymail.co, and it's titled that LeBron James' name came up in a DEA 2023 biogenesis investigations amid suspicions about his friend and manager Randy Mims, but agents found the NBA star did nothing wrong. So obviously the DEA came across this type of story. They did an investigation and they wanted to probe to see if there's anything regarding to LeBron James and, quote unquote rumors about him allegedly being on PEDs. So I just wanted to get into that. So the story you've been talking about it's not going to get that much headways through the media because LeBron James is the media darling right now. And he's a cash cow of the NBA, so they can't risk having him be part of this rumor. So they're going to try to shut this story down as much as possible. That's why regular media outlets like us are going to be the ones to talk about this, because if not, then it's going to be swept under the rug and going to be possibly happening. Now, we already know that, LeBron James fanboys and etc., they hate these type of stories because just the thought of LeBron James being on steroids disgust them and piss them off. They don't want to realize that he possibly might be on the juice. And, it's speculation at this point. There's no viable proof, even though there are, instances that you could tell he's on something. Allegedly. Everything I'm saying is alleged. So, again, this has nothing to do with LeBron James per se, but more of the person or him. Again, his manager, which is Mims, obtained testosterone from a personal use from a dealer known as Carlos Vito. Mims was allegedly referred to as Ace Vito by Alexander. So, again, this has nothing to do with LeBron James per se, but because LeBron James is so close to it, that his name is going to be attached to it for clicks, views, etc. Because it's gonna make headways, and you already know you are what your closest friend, your closest friends are. So that's the story as regards to that situation because of the rumors spanning back all the way from LeBron James being with the Cavaliers. Because again, I think when he was playing with the Cavaliers earlier, he quote unquote had a jawline removed at the time when he was playing with the Cavaliers. Then when in Miami there was an instant where in the locker room or backstage at one of the Heat game, he went on the scale, and then I don't know what happened. He gained about a bunch of pounds in a short amount of time, and people have never seen anything like that before. He lost weight and then gained weight at a super fast rate. And then in 2015, he took 2 weeks off to go to Miami, and that was around the time he left Miami Heat to go back to Cleveland, and he was on a quote unquote paleo diet. And when he came back, he was looking really frail and thin at the time. And when people was questioning why does he look like that, he said he was on a paleo diet. And in the beginning of the season when he was playing, he looked like he lost a lot of athleticism and strength, and he looked like he could even jump over a piece of paper. And then after that, he went to Miami for 2 weeks, came back, and then he looked like he was jumping out the gym again, hulked up, whatever. So those are some of the suspicion that's that's going to be hanging over LeBron James' head. And another thing right now is the quote-unquote, he's about, 38 years old right now, and he's turning 39 this year. He's going to be in his 21st season in the NBA, and almost all the players in his draft class are out of the NBA. He's the last player from the 2003 draft class, and he's still playing like somewhat of a top 10 player. And people want to chalk it up to, oh, that's just good genetics, that's just longevity, age, etc. Nobody wants to ever put that out there. This guy might be on something. He might be juicing. He might be on that stuff that HGH. And also, we already know earlier this year that Shannon guy, the former MMA fighter, he came out and made an allegation that LeBron James was on a PEDs, and then it made its rounds to media, not mainstream media like Undisputed or First Take or ESPN or stuff like that, but on YouTube it made its rounds to media. People were talking about it. LeBron James didn't say nothing about it, no question about it. Shannon never brought it back up again. I guess he probably got a gag order on it, whatever. But again, if LeBron James is on some PEDs allegedly, and someone does know that he's on it, it will have to be on them to have proof that he's on the PEDs to make that assertion. So I'm pretty sure Shannon said him and LeBron James have the same dealer. I don't know how true that is because Shannon is known to be make a lot of hyperbole statements, and I take what Shannon said was a grain of salt. I've known him for a long time in the MMA circuit. When he was in the UFC, he's he's a showman. He's an entertainer. He's a talker. He likes to make a showman and stuff. So I don't really take what he says too seriously. So it is what it is. If this ties back to LeBron James, it's going to be bad for him. It's going to be bad for the league because his legacy is honestly going to be tarnished. Me, in my personal opinion, I think LeBron James is on the juice. That's my personal, allegedly. I have no proof. I have 0% proof, but I just think he'll improve. There's just too much instances of he's being on something to be able to play this long and this good for this amount of time. And I know what people are going to say, oh, you're jealous of LeBron James, you're a hater, blah, blah, I don't care. But still, it doesn't make sense for a guy to be playing his 20th season, to be playing like a top 10 player, and he's showing little signs of slowing down. He's starting to get injured with a little bit more regularity, but still, it's just kind of weird and awkward how he's still playing at a high level with young guys who just got drafted fresh, still be able to play 30 something odd minutes and showing no signs of like slowing down. There has to be something he's on. Just my personal opinion. If he's clean, it is what it is. Hey, that's great. I mean, it's great for him, great for the league. That's something that, that's hang your hat on. But I still believe that he's on something. That's just my personal opinion, because there's no way for him or anybody at that point to be playing this long length of time without you being on something. I said the same thing about certain other players that was on steroids, but we just have to wait to see. I feel like because LeBron James is part of the NBA right now and he's such a big storyline, that they're gonna keep him around. They're gonna, whatever dirt he has, they're going to, cover it up, etc. But once he's out of the league and more of these PED allegation stories starts popping up with more regularity, and then if there's proof, then NBA is gonna be whatever with it, because they're not making money off LeBron James no more. So they're gonna be whatever. They're gonna throw him, cast him to the sea, and whatever happens to him happens to him. But right now, he's gonna be highly protected because he's still making money for the league, and he's still one of the biggest stories in the league right now to this day. And however long that he plays in the NBA, which was not be for long, I feel he has like a few more seasons left. Depending on if his son gets drafted, how long he's going to play with his son for the NBA. And then after that, once he goes into retirement, then who knows what stories will come out that we possibly didn't know. I've heard rumors that, PD allegations, side chicks allegations, him going into DMs, etc. But again, those are just allegations. There's some instances where there's certain stories come out about it, but we don't know for sure, because he's really good at hiding, because we all know that LeBron James is an excellent sports politician, and he likes to keep things buttoned up for the media. But those are my thoughts and opinions in the conversation down below. Let me know what you think. Peace. Hey, what's up? So in this video topic, I wanted to talk about the recent interview that Shannon Sharp did on Stephen A. Smith's podcast, No Mercy. So as we know, Stephen A. Smith has his own podcast where he discussed an array of topics, not outside of just sports. Now, we already know he has Stephen A. World's First Take, etc. and all that. But in this particular podcast, this is his personal podcast where he could bring on whatever he wants, and he could talk about certain issues outside of ESPN's guidelines, and he's less restricted. This particular podcast, he has Shannon Sharp on, and ever since Shannon Sharp has joined Undisputed, they've been working closely with each other. When we already know that the interview that they had with Club Shay Shay on Shannon Sharp's podcast, Stephen A. Smith was a guest star, and now he's returning the favor by going on Stephen A. Smith's podcast, No Mercy, and they were talking about a different array of topics, and one of the topics that they were talking about was Skip Bayless and him leaving Undisputed, and the whole reason for that. So in the video, he talks about how, the first 6 years, it was good working with Skip Bayless. And then the last year, it just got really tumultuous between him and with him and Skip Bayless, because of all the heavy toxic fanboyism that Skip Bayless shows towards Tom Brady, because he looks at Tom Brady as somewhat of a god. And he looks at certain players that you feel like they can't be critiqued. Michael Jordan is one of them. Tom Brady's another person. If Skip Bayless likes you, he doesn't like people critiquing his idols. And I'm gonna say idols because he worshipped them as that. So one of the we already know the infamous video that they had that kind of like blew that made things worse. It was a number of videos that that they had segments that they had the Baker Mayfield video that kind of blew things over, the Darvin Hamlin video that blew over that made things worse. The Tom Brady one was the one I guess that Shannon Sharp wanted to like harp over the most because he felt like he was really hurt by Skip Bayless when he took a shot at him saying that you're jealous of Tom Brady and that you're not as good as Tom Brady. And granted, note, and this is with all due disrespect to Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless is a punk and a disrespectful ass man. This is a unathletic, frail, Caucasian white person telling a three-time Super Bowl champion Hall of Famer that his career meant nothing in compared to Tom Brady. Let me repeat that again. A three-time Super Bowl champion Hall of Famer. It's not some regular rinky-dink sports writer or sports analysis or sports pundit. This is a three-time Super Bowl Hall of Famer. Now, I have my gripes with Shannon Sharp. He's entertaining. I don't like his LeBron James take because I feel like his fanboyism is just as toxic for LeBron as it is for Tom Brady and Skip Bayless. But when it comes to football, he has a good eye and he breaks down the game as good as anyone as I've seen on these sports debate shows. But again, for him to diminish Shannon Sharp's career like that, when this guy has virtually accomplished nothing of that magnitude because he was trying to protect Tom Brady, it just shows how low character, low brow, no morale that Skip Bayless has, and no respect that he has for Shannon Sharp at that time. Now, granted, they kept it professional the rest of the show and continue, but I could tell that it was low key over at that point. It was a matter of time because me personally would not tolerate such disrespect like that from a person who, if I was Shannon Sharp, never accomplishes half the things that I was able to accomplish in my sports career. Let alone to say that I'm jealous of Tom Brady, like he's acting like Shannon Sharp just came and went in the league. Like he did a lot for himself. He played a good amount of years. He accomplished a lot. He's seen success. He's made millions. He's living a good life. But for him to diminish his career like that because he was trying to defend his god, Tom Brady, just shows how toxic his fanboyism is as regards to that. I've seen fanatics go crazy over sports teams and go crazy over players, but my mistake. Skip Bayless fanboyness is damn near like extreme, like a damn near toxic extreme, to the point where you can't even critique Tom Brady even if he does have a bad game. And I forgot the particular game that they did play. I think it was a playoff game against San Francisco 49ers that Tom Brady had played, and he had a bad game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were getting blown out. They were losing. Tom Brady did had a bad game. And the next day they talked about it. And you already know they were going over it. Shannon gave his take. Skip Bayless didn't like it. And then he started taking low blows, cheap shots. And it was unnecessary. It was unprofessional. And it shows you the low character that Skip Bayless has. I already made a video prior to this saying Skip Bayless is trash. He's a trash human being. I'll say that to his face. He's a trash human being. He's a low moral person. I do not care for this dude. Granted, he did a lot in his endeavors as a sports journalist. He's, on Undisputed. He was on First Take. He did a lot through that industry. But to take shots at athletes, not just Shannon Sharp, but at LeBron James, Aaron Rodgers, Kawhi Leonard, other players that he had issues with at the time, to take shots at them when he never accomplished half the things that they were able to accomplish. This is why he gets the hate that he got. But again, he probably doesn't care, or maybe he do care, and then he just bustle it over. But still, the fact of the matter is that you can't disrespect your co-host like that. He was beating you in a debate, you were losing, so you went low blow. And Shannon Sharp was discussing that on the show with Stephen A. Smith, and he was just saying how he felt really hurt by that, and I could see that he was really hurt by that by his reaction. A lot of us saw that reaction, and I could imagine how he felt after that segment, because that was really grimy of Skip Bayless to do that. And then it made things worse where Shannon Sharp ended up leaving. Now he's vocaling his, opinion on the matter and what happened, what led to him leaving. And now he was talking about other things, how, at that moment, how Skip Bayless said that disrespectful thing to him. He said it took everything in his power to not lay hands on Skip Bayless. And I could imagine to some guy that's low caliber, such as Skip Bayless, a low human being as Skip Bayless, to antagonize you like that, take a low blow at your career, a Hall of Fame career, and say it means nothing compared to Tom Brady. That's, that just shows you what type of person Skip Bayless is. And I could tell, from what he was saying, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp weren't the best of friends, but they had a good, entertaining show. They had a good, back and forth with each other. I feel like they were better. They were way better than Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Now, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, they had a good repertoire, but it wasn't on the level of Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. But I feel like Skip Bayless threw all of that away because he wanted to protect his media, his darling Tom Brady, his God. So that just shows you how deep-seated certain people's fandom goes in terms of their favorite player and favorite sports team. So I just wanted to talk about that because I don't have any bullet point that I want to go step by step. I just wanted to talk off the hip and give my thoughts on it. Skip Bayless is trash. I don't particularly like Skip Bayless because of some of the things he says. He's a disrespectful man. He takes cheap shots at players, and then when they come at him, he likes to play victim. For example, he was going heavy at Russell Westbrook while he was playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, and then when Russell Westbrook tried to stand up for himself and then he started going at Skip Bayless, he started playing the victim. He started bringing up old stuff, how Russell Westbrook saw him at a hotel or a bar or something, and then he did some head nod gesture, and Skip Bayless took that as a threat, so he started moving with security, and he started talking about how he started to get death threats at, OKC, etc. And I'm not saying that's right, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's the type of energy that you put out, and hopefully those death threats were false, because I wouldn't want nothing bad to happen to him, but still, you're not critiquing players. You're talking trash. You're a troll. You're a professional troll. That's what you do. You troll players, and then you hope to get a response out of them, and that's what you did out of Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, Russell Westbrook was mentally weak enough to respond to you, and you went and ran with it and continued to attack Russell Westbrook, and you still do that to this day. And then you wonder why people don't like you. So again, that's my thoughts on the matter. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What you thought about Stephen A. Smith interview with Shannon Sharp on his podcast. This Elo Speaks out. Peace.